This is the Barber blueprint. I'm not your normal internet guru. I'm a guy that's really in the trenches, really been through it, and I look forward to you getting some value from my story and from my journey as a barber in this game. I'm not standing here, the guy that's promising you that you're gonna be a millionaire. But what I am promising you is that you'll be a better barber if you apply the jewels in this book, the Barber Blueprint.
All right, what's going on, people? What's happening? It's your boy V back again with another tutorial. This time I'm gonna do a fade inspired by Tom Hardy on my boy Nick. This was a Saturday morning cut, so I was in my full Super Saiyan mode on a Saturday morning, giving my boy Nick this fire haircut. And what I'll do for you today is point out every flaw that I may possibly see. I gotta give a big shout out to Nick for trusting me with his hair for all this time. When he first started coming to me, I would put a lot of pomade on the top of his hair because I just didn't have a good strategy to connect the top with the fade. That's why in these videos you see me connecting the top with the ridge first, because doing the fade from the bottom comes so easily to me that why even start with the easy section? I want to go to the most difficult, the most challenging thing first. Right here, what you see me doing in the video is cleaning out the bald section, making my first guideline, and getting Nick in the game. That's the main goal. The Barber Blueprint book will be available for pre-sale very soon. I'll have links in the description and in the comments so you can pre-order the book. We are like in the final stage, 98% of the way done. The other 2% is getting this thing printed and published and in your hands so that you can have all of the value that I'm giving you in this book, because I wrote it from the heart. 20 years of experience and also 7-8 years of ownership and just acquiring a lot of knowledge. A lot of knowledge from masterminds, from books, and a different level of experience, so to speak. So the Barber Blueprint is coming soon. You will have a copy as soon as possible. I will autograph it and all that for you too. Not a problem. I'm gonna connect with a 4. So like usually what I do is when I put my guard on, if I know that I'm gonna use it for like multiple different things, and I'll just use it all at the same time. So usually I do Nick's beard and his sides out of 4. Nick has had this beard since COVID. A few years ago I did a tutorial on Nick and he was clean shaved. Now look at how cool my man looks. He looks like a superhero now. And congratulations on the baby on the way too, Nick. You gotta have pops looking right out here. So I want to keep that length. The reason why I didn't go against the grain on the bottom is because I want to keep that as dark as possible. But the cheeks, it's alright to smooth that down. I want that to be smooth where you can still see some skin, and I can get a good blend that begins around his earlobe. Now I'm blending out the top. Now why I didn't point him toward the camera where you can see, I don't know. I must have gotten caught up in the haircut, but right here I'm just going against the grain on the sideburns with my lever closed and using my lever to open or close my blade whenever needed. Same thing on Nick's left side. I would love to know how you guys do your beards. Do you do your blends vertical or do you do them horizontal? I've seen the horizontal blend like what Uncle Phil had in season 2 of Bel Air. It's pretty cool. I've never worn my beard like that. You can kind of see my beard, my salt and pepper beard in the camera. Usually it gets blended out from the top sideburn area from my body to the beard. However, I'm not opposed to seeing what that horizontal balding looks like. I'm using my blade open on Nick, going with the grain, which gives me like a one with the grain type look. And I'm warning you guys now. I'm warning you now. When I do these shears on Nick, the instructors and the social justice warriors of the barber world are gonna be like, you're doing it the wrong way. You're gonna cut your finger. You're not the real. Well, look, for me in this business, starting from survival mode, as long as I get that haircut to the finish line and get it looking good, my process should not even matter. The people that are getting their hair cut by you are never gonna say like, you are not holding the clippers right, you're not holding the shears right. Like, nobody's ever gonna say that. They're gonna look in the mirror and they just wanna know that their cut was good. And as long as I keep the experience smooth as a service, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Don't worry about if I cut my finger and have to go to the emergency room for stitches. That don't matter as long as the cut is good. Alright, so I guess I went against my rule here and started from the bottom. No worries. Blending from the bottom. I'm only gonna blend out that ball before I connect the top to the side. With my fabulous pros that are Zero Gap by Mr. West. And these things are pretty loud too. Thankfully you can't hear them. I had some issues where I dropped them and the motor just wasn't working correctly. So Mr. West unscrewed the hood, gave me gave my clippers an oil change and a tune-up, and now I have a Zero Gap blade, which I'm not mad at. It took a little getting used to at first, but now that I'm used to it, they work perfectly fine as far as cutting. It's just the noise that's a little annoying. It's not super loud. It's like a 6 out of 10 on noise. I see a lot of barbers with the Fabulous FX Pros that, I mean, you turn them on and they sound like a Tesla. Mine sound like an F-150. Mine sound like a supercharged Mustang. But they get the job done though. That's all that matters to me. And as you can see, just working every area needed with those Fabulous. From the bottom of the fade to the top of the sideburn. Spin them around to the left side, same steps. Now, when I first started cutting Nick's hair, I would always like cut his hair so that the hair was laying to the back. But realistically, his hair just naturally lays to the front. So now I cut it that way and just make that bang area so that it doesn't hang too low in his face. At first I was against that and giving him like a kind of like a sideways look going on. But now I just let it float to the front. The grain there with the 4, which isn't really cutting too much off. And whenever I do that side ridge area, I angle my clippers so that it doesn't go too deep into the top, where it catch just enough hair just to blend it. Kind of like the same hand motion that I would use on a high top fade, where the clippers are going up but not too deep into the top, just enough to kind of blend the top to the side. cut with the shears. Typically, I'll start in the front just so I can cut that first chunk of hair down. That little bit that's peeking out between my fingers is what I cut. And then I use that hair to be my guideline to work my way back. And when I do the bang in the front, I just kind of do it like in a circular motion, a circular pattern. So I learned this from Lady Barber Meg once upon a time on how to do that, and that is what stuck with me. Another apprentice who once worked at Fade and Flood taught me the ways. Now what I do is hold my fingers in like a 90-degree angle and cut that hair using my shears to work my way up, so that when the hair falls down, it kind of blends with the sides. And I do that technique on both sides. Students, feel free to comment and let me know how you would do this. I'm very big on don't talk about the problem unless you are going to find a solution. So before you flame this technique, talk about how you would do it. How would Barber 720000 I get money on YouTube do it? Let a real one know. As you can see, I'm rocking Fade in full black tee. You can dress like V and get one of those. I'll see if I can add a link to the site where you can buy a Fade in full shirt, represent the gang. Get the Barber blueprint shirts so that you can represent, let everybody know one of your sources for this barber knowledge on sales, marketing, finance, legal, product development, burnout, the whole nine. This Barber blueprint book covers a lot of different areas. And, you know, it's a little difficult to talk about how to cut in a book. So most of the book is about how to build your clientele, how I started, how to pick a shop, why barbers don't make it. A lot of areas that people are not discussing in the barber game. So on this section right here, I'm using my thinning shears and just cutting the hairs that need to be cut. Using my comb just to see the hairs that peek out and just cutting those. The thinning shears allow for me to cut that hair without cutting too much by accident. So the thinning shears is a very safe way to get your shear work in. For a long time, I was reluctant to use those. My guy Young Vega is the one that really showed me the technique on how to use those. Shout out to Vega. I know your birthday coming up soon. Happy birthday. Or if it's not today, happy birthday. And then same deal, just working my way up the side with the guard, same way. That's my boy Eulogy walking out the door. You can hear Eulogy on my album, my last album, Pressure. By the way, new album coming soon, ABV. Always Been Valid. Coming soon. This beat that you hear in the background is from one of the songs that I made for Intelligent Hoodlum that never made it. Let me know in the comments if you think I should use this beat. Or just release the song that I got for it, because I definitely recorded some verses to this. But for whatever reason, I didn't put it out. I'm using my 2 guard on the side right there. Start blending out that ridge section. And once my blend is seamless and blurry and connecting, then we can work our way down and start blending out that bottom line. So my man Nick don't have the mushroom bowl cut. I can't have my man Nick out here looking like one of them psychedelics, like a hippie. Nick has a white collar job. I can't have Nick out here looking like a hippie. Gotta have his beard clean and his fade tight. This is my one guard, and we're just working our way down the mountain. It's coming together. Blade all the way open, lever down. We are the truth at the full. A little friendly competition in the barbershop never hurt. So, you know, there's some rumblings about, you know, you write books now and things like that. And it does take a lot of time to write books. It's a lot of preparation, a lot of critical thinking. 18 months went into the writing of the book. So my attendance at the barbershop has slid back a little bit. The cuts have still been quality. Making these tutorials is lighting the fire. So in the book I talk a little bit about burnout, and you gotta find other ways in this industry to bring that spark back. Is it gonna be throwing conferences, attending conferences, making tutorials, writing a book, making content for TikTok, being active on LinkedIn to attract new people, reviewing clippers, reviewing other people's cuts? The possibilities are limitless. This is my 2 right here that I'm using to kind of connect the top with the side. I know a lot of barbers out there are suffering from burnout. That was me once upon a time, burnt all the way out. One thing that I do when I'm feeling a little uninspired, blade all the way open to blend out the bottom. One thing that I do when I want to feel inspired is visit other people's barbershops. Talking to like-minded barbers and individuals, you know, just lets us know that we're not in it alone, you know, because there aren't many people that will understand the plight of a barber. You have tattoo artists, you got real estate people, you have a lot of people that service, servers, waiters, I mean even strippers. People in the industry, service industry, all variables go through similar things. You know, you're just independent, self-employed. And sometimes, you know, we need to just talk to people that are on the same journey as us. You know? Sometimes it allows us to see we don't have it as bad as we think. Or sometimes it may make us appreciate how good we got it. Don't be afraid to stop by other barbershops, talk to barbers. I ain't gonna make it seem like every shop that you go in is gonna be warm and embracing. But, you know, just stop in, you know. Go get a haircut somewhere else and don't let them know you're a barber, just so that you can reverse engineer the experience. You know, walking in another barbershop and nobody speaks to you may make you want to speak to everybody that walks in your door. Talking to a barber, getting your hair cut, and they just drift off and start daydreaming may make you want to listen to your clients a little bit more. You know, being on the other side of the clipper can help you become a better barber as well. So don't ever neglect that. I know you want to get... Alright, that's my 1 guard. That's my 0 guard, actually. Just blending out the bottom, blending out the bottom, blending out the bottom, chopping it. being on the other side of the Clippers can help you, know what the experience is like, learn some new things. Help you reverse engineer how you treat your customers. How is your experience? And that blend is coming out real nice. The blend may be the strength of this cut, because we all know that when it comes to these shears, it's the area of least experience for me, and I'm unapologetic about that. I have no problem letting you know the areas where I'm weak. So we just had a meeting recently at the barbershop about letting bad cuts walk out the shop. I am so confident in my skill set that I will let somebody come over if I'm in need of assistance. I'll let somebody come over and tell me, what it is that I need to do. And Nick knows this. I had to get help on his cut a few times. He was cool with the way that I was cutting his hair, but I knew that I could do it better. Even still to this day, we are only going to be as successful as our level of personal development. So if you need to get some assistance, get it. Whether you're new, rookie, moderate, or experienced, there's always something to learn in this game. Using my FX trimmer, line up the back of Nick's beard and get those extra hairs off his neck. One thing I hate is hair on the neck, man. I don't like leaving hair on anybody. Cheeks, neck, that area around the neck strip. That bottom area underneath the beard on the neck. I want to get all of that. This look that he has on his face, can you guess what he's thinking right now? Alright, now we line up the bottom of Nick's neck. Giving that beard some definition on the bottom. To the left side, his left side, same deal. I'm trimming the extra hairs that are sticking out off free-handed. Now, using my trimmers on the bottom of Nick's mustache, lining it up, making sure no hairs are curling into his mouth. I hate when I get my beard done and I got like a undefined mustache. One time I went into a barbershop that shall remain unnamed, and a rookie did my beard, and he was very conservative. And I get it, some people don't want the extra definition, but you got to be able to gauge, who wants it and who doesn't. Because I've been doing him for so long, he got no choice but to get definition. He's going to be sharp. And I want to be sharp too. I believe I look like a guy that wants to be sharp. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little disappointed that, my beard had no definition. I still gave the guy $60 anyway. My body and beard. I couldn't get facial, anything like that. And I ask for that when I go different places because I think that we should be offering these things. I think we should be doing black mask, facial scrubs, all of the above. Nick gets a dry razor just give that sideline some definition. And I do use the razor around the C cup and top of the eyebrows just to bring some sharpness and clarity to that area as well. Top of the beard is simple. You stretch the skin. Up. Razor goes down. And I only use the razor on the area around the line, because using that dry razor on my boy cheeks, just it's like I'm torturing him. He would shed a thug tear if I just use that razor dry. You can't really see on cam, how the hair grows on his cheeks, but it comes up pretty high. I'll show you how I grab that in a sec. Spin them around. Same deal on the left side. Currently doing this voiceover after hours. How do you spend your free time, barbers? What do you do once the clippers are off, the razor is on your station, the neck strip is off, shop is closed? Are you putting together your content for the next day? Are you soliciting appointments for the next day? Rebooking people? This is a 24-hour job, this barber game, if you're self-employed. There's nothing wrong with setting aside 2-3 hours to make sure that you are well prepared for the next day or the upcoming week. The job does not end at the end of the day. So, getting the hair off his cheeks with my FX trimmer, which is easier on his face than a dry razor. And after I use my trimmers on that section, I just use the Andis close shaver. Going with the blower. Pause. Alright, close shaver for the side. And close shaver for the back of the neck. Let me know what you rate this cut. Look at him. That blend. Flawless. No flaws. The beard sharp. And everything is where it's supposed to be. Thanks for checking me out. Catch you on the next one.